this episode, we're heading from Garry's Anchorage up to River Heads and then continuing on all the way up to Moon Point. So we left really early. This is about 5 a.m. and the moon's still up. It's just so lovely and calm. We had to get going early though because there's a very shallow spot further up the Sandy Straits called Sheridan Flats, and that's where we have to get through at high tide. So this morning the tide was fairly early, which is why we had to get going. So on the way out of Garry's in the northern entrance here, you've got Stewart Island and the holiday houses there. It's so pretty. Unfortunately, I didn't take any footage through Sheridan Flats, but this is out of Sheridan Flats heading towards Ungowa. And it's just so lovely. If I see some wind on the water, I'm definitely putting up my sails, even though there wasn't much point to doing that. But yeah, really pretty little spot to sail through. This would be near Yankee Jack Creek. It's just such a nice morning to sail or to float with the tide. I don't think we were sailing much. I've got my screecher out. It's on an endless line furler. I also had my main up as well, mostly just to do something. It's a good morning. This is one of my favourite spots to stand on the boat. It just makes me feel so happy to watch myself glide over the water. So the next part on our map is Ungowa. Ungowa's got some wrecks and a creek, and it's a pretty good spot to explore, but a lot of current. So another time when we stopped, we had trouble getting the anchor to set just in front of Ungowa, so I'd recommend finding somewhere better than what it says on the maps on your GPS and everything. So I've made a little map out of Google Earth for this, and you can take a run up the creek at high tide. These pics are actually from another time we stopped there, not this trip, but I wanted to include them so you can see we did a little bit of fishing with the kids. Interesting to go up the creek at high tide, and fair warning, I've added an AI image here, so check it out. This is
That's
it.
a good cast. Thanks. Whoa.
So after our stop at Ungowa, we head up to River Heads. It's a nice area. It's a lot more open sailing as we leave Ungowa and get out into the nice water. I think I actually just motored. It wasn't very breezy and we just wanted to get moving. I think we had a bit of tide starting, and definitely a lot of tide comes out of the rivers there, so you really want to get around slack water. I was slack water close to, and it was still pushing a lot of tide, so I'm glad I didn't get in there mid-tide or anything. This is just some of the nice scenery. Obviously we had a really good day, wasn't rough then, and sorry for my entertaining myself while I sail, or not sail. I like to spin on my jet. See some nice boats as you start getting to Harvey Bay, and obviously you have to entertain yourself on the deck, but this is River Heads as you start to see it. Got all your markers and everything. It's a pretty good area to work on. As you get into River Heads though, I anchored quite close to the boat ramp because we had guests and gear to pick up. But nice little ramp, water, rubbish disposal, it was all there. So I actually quite enjoyed the stop. And this was in a northerly, or at least maybe a northwest, and yeah, pretty happy with that anchorage. It was actually just really hot though. So for the afternoon, on this day, we had another fairly large bit of distance to get to. Our original plan wasn't to go that far, but conditions made us have to. So we left River Heads and we sailed across to Kingfish Bay and ended up just north of it. a few tacks, got the kids involved in the sailing. Unfortunately, I don't have any videos for this day, but there's still a few bits to enjoy. Yeah, it was a sail, had to use the notice for a bit too, and then we were able to just go to sail. So just the Genoa and the main up for that trip. And we ended up stopping here for a swim north of Kingfisher, and we dinghied over to the beach, and it was very hot, the water, and lots of stingrays, so it wasn't my highest recommendation for a swim. After that, we took off up to here, Urang Creek area. I thought we'd be able to stay there, but it was just too rolly, so we had to get our sails up and quickly make our way up to Moon Point and get in underneath the cover there. And we had a northerly or northeasterly by this stage. So I took this track in and anchored there on that number 15 marker for the night. Really good anchorage, really calm, maybe too protected, and we had a few mozzies that night in the boat. But this is our sail from Urang Creek area up to Moon Point. This afternoon sun. I was on my screecher because it was light, then we got a little bit overpowered with the wind, and I can give you a tip: if your screecher isn't rolling in very easily, you're probably rolling it the wrong way around, which is what I did, and we had to refill it later. But yeah, we had a good afternoon sail, anchored safe, and then we were very happy to be there after about a 40 nautical mile day, so definitely on the tired side, but always good once you're at a good anchorage. Thanks for watching.